Alright, here we are. Probably want to pop out the chat, but yeah, might as well pop out my chat so I can see all the wonderful comments. And it's that I don't have to snap back and forth every single time. But another tourney, another analysis stream. You know how it goes at this point. Just gonna have this set up and switch the display to here. Maybe I could have some music running in the background, but you know, all the times that I've done the analyses, I never had music in the background. But at some point, I might even consider posting these analyses on YouTube. Just cause. Alright, there we go. How's it looking so far? Looking pretty good to me. And without further ado, let's get this started. Put this in theater mode. Or yeah, theater mode will do. Where does this start? Okay, it starts within 2 minutes. I'll just mute it just in case. Might as well just have some music playing. Alright, just give me a sec. is not overpowering. Okay, so just to get ourselves situated with the teams, we have the Pound Train to Howdy Town with Pompadour and Sky. G Selfie with Testament and Breaker Prime. Power Defense Squad. That's Beta Dude and Chanel. Fran Sharshu, loving the Zombieland saga. Red Muffler Man and Sad Ghost. Gay Rights 2 to the Death. Hell Yeah and Coconuts. We drove 100 miles. Not to pre-reg. The Chrono Raider and Miles. Now we have Goof Troop, Twin Tail Fox, and that one guy. And last but not least, we have Aaron and Nick 960. Alright, so first match. Back.
So Hot Scramble on the screen, very controversial character in a Gundam Versus.
Oh, I love Hot Scramble. He just goes in. He controls all the space, good amount of damage. CC8B having is really silly. Pound Train to Howdy. That's right. Pound Train to Howdy. That is.
Yeah, the first match is
Howdy
with.
Town? Okay. Pound Train to Howdy Town.
This is G Selfie.
Yeah, and so we have Sky, who's playing Barbatos.
Alright. I guess Sky pretty much picked Barbatos to get a feel for the team. Just taking a wild guess there. But Barbatos is not entirely the strongest 300 to go around with. Except in 1v1 situations, but even then he gets outclassed pretty bad. But Hot Scramble. Hot Scramble really does wonders for someone that got nerfed twice in the entire game's lifespan. And right off the bat you see Pompadour just going ham. Because it turns into a me versus you situation between Hot Scramble and Full Cloth. And I think it's also imperative to try and interrupt Full Cloth from getting his offense going, especially when he has his CSA and CSB up. And I can't quite see the other team. I think it's Full Cloth and X2. That's a very balanced team. One actually has a lot more range capabilities to back up your front, and also has a lot of moves that stun or stagger. Pompadour just using a lot of fences to try and gate as many movement options, but also approaching with CC at B. And also putting out funnels and a funnel cage to try and nail down at least some Okia. Oh wait, that's not X2. That's Perfect Strike. Pop gets shot down. But I kind of failed to notice that there was a overcost. Let's see. Let's look back. I'm trying to see when that happened. And I'll have to apologize in advance too, because I have no idea what kind of negotiations that Hot Scramble has, because I don't have the suit myself. Also, what's good, Moto? It's the afternoon in the East Coast, so good afternoon. Even after this point, it's still good. The funnels. Oh yeah, now I see where it happened. I think off screen he got killed by Perfect Strike. No, off screen he got killed by Full Cloth. So that kind of left a really bad situation. Fence manages to catch Full Cloth in just enough time for Sky to capitalize. Bring out the funnels, try to catch Full Cloth in a bad movement. Throw out some funnels. Also test that movement to see if he's gonna land at an awkward time. And Perfect Strike is keeping a good distance to try and snipe Hot Scramble in a very weird angle. And I guess that kind of position was good for Full Cloth and Perfect Strike, because if Hot Scramble tried to approach and try to cut, Full Cloth would have just ran in and just destroyed him right then and there. Alright, next match, let's see. The G selfie. One up. Oh, a little bit too far. I was trying to slowly adjust the time. Alright, match 2. Get a good look, have fun. Now I'm paying attention to the radar and seeing Sky is a lot closer to Full Cloth to try and push as many 2v1 situations as he can. A lot of double locking going on. Because at the end of the day, Full Cloth is still a threat despite having no charge. Throw some funnels in a cage. That muzzle correction on the funnels with that attack is really good, to the point where it's kind of BS. Test trying to get back that momentum, but I think he nearly got cut by his partner. Palm doing the smart thing and not trying to rush in too much, and went straight for a Perfect Strike, so it was definitely worth it. Now Perfect Strike would be bleeding right about now due to the overcost. Nice approach with the mobile armor mode, but Full Cloth is still a problem. That's why you can't really leave him alone. Now that was a bad burst right there, but it was still good that he ran away with it. But whenever you're knocked on the ground after an attack, it's never a good idea to burst. I would just stay down to the ground, use up my invulnerability, and then burst right as quick as I can in order to get away or get some pot shots in. Because you lose a bit of that momentum when you try to escape like that, and you also lose a good chunk of your burst in escaping that kind of situation too. But no matter what kind of action you do after that, it can go either way. And doing the JoJo poses, the menacing aura. Alright, that's 1-1. Again, I have to apologize. I have no idea how Hot Scramble plays, because I don't have them. I would have them if I had a English copy of the game, but yeah, that's a bit of a matter in itself too. Alright, match 3. Always starting with defenses, trying to gatekeep some movement from Full Cloth. And he's also using that Bill Strike striker to not only block some shots on the way through, but also push some offense so that Palm can actually get a good opportunity to strike and knock down Full Cloth or any other target that's in his way. It's kind of hard to tell what Sky is doing because he's always off the screen, but he's doing a good job at keeping things preoccupied. CCAB gets hit with Shining Edge. Sorry about that. Wow. Hold up. Let me go back at that. Sith with the Sinanju, I think either it's Sinanju or Zaku 1. Gerhardt Zaku 1. But this exchange is ridiculous. He tries to step Full Cloth's melee. I guess he was expecting something to happen? But at the same time, he threw out Build Strike's assist. Knowing that he would be that close. Yeah, he threw it out the moment he got in range of Testament. and then step to try and avoid a bit of the attack, which is never easy up against full cloth because full cloth has some other ways in order to make you regret stepping aside. Because Murasama Blaster, and once Murasama Blaster is active, you have access to a side whip. A side whip that actually puts you in a very interesting stagger state once you're knocked down. And the Bill Strike killed him right before he got hit by anything else. Called the finals for Oki, but gets knocked down by Full Cloth. You can never underestimate Full Cloth because of his movement. And the kind of weapons that he has too. If his CSA was much better, he would be actually a threat. But then again, never underestimate Full Cloth, even outside of his power-ups. I think that Charge Shot is AC? Alright, let me see. Main, sub. Alright, that's A, AB, AC. BC I think is something else. That might be his quick transformation into his mobile armor mode. Or I could be wrong with something. Now there's a dangerous situation, which inevitably led to that loss. Because it's Full Cloth's job in order to stay in that ass. It is his job. His reason to live is to put foot in ass. Alright, next up, I think that's Franchashu. Alright, let's see. Yeah, Franchashu versus Goof Troop. So we have High Nu and Perfect Strike versus. Let me look back. Yeah. High Nu and Perfect Strike versus Zeta and Goof Custom. Goof Custom, I felt like he should have gone with Lightning Burst, Lightning Gear. Since in this case, Zeta would be the one going in the most. Because as strange as he plays in this game, I feel like he's more offense oriented than he is ranged. So running a Blaze Gear Zeta would be a good idea. And let me tell you, Goof Custom is annoying to fight against. Especially one that knows how to chase your landings. Because the whole point of Goof Custom is to just constantly run in with the machine with a Gatling gun, and they keep that Gatling gun for as long as you can, which is why half bursting is essential for him, but is also a weakness on his side. Because once you lose that Gatling gun, he has that weak triple barrel machine gun, and that doesn't do much. Oh wait, French shoe, that's Muffin Man and Sad Ghost. The only thing that I don't have any knowledge of is what suits these guys play. If I had a good idea who played what, then I could actually pinpoint what they're doing right and wrong. But so far, the Perfect Strike's doing a good job. Until he started trying to close the distance against Zeta. But he's... Alright, this is good. Let me go back. Round start, CSA, try to sweep. Perfect Strike is maintaining a good distance and angle so he can actually get some good shots against Zeta. But I feel like he should have gone after... Oh, no. Never mind. I was gonna say he should constantly go after Goof Custom. But Goof Custom also has some defensive tools that make it hard to really rush him down. And chase him on top of that too. So this kind of reserve play is a good idea. But actively going after Zeta, as a 400 you don't want to die first. Zeta boost dive to check if anyone was coming. But I guess he also dropped that combo out of fear of Hainu just throwing out some funnels to cut him at a distance. And judging from what he was doing, he was trying to anticipate a quick wake up, which is why he was stepping aside every now and then, just in case any shots were coming through. But the 2B, I don't understand why. Good, he's not thirsting. He's not thirsting. Because if Perfect Strike thirsted right there, he would have got hit by one of two things: the anchor that the Goof Custom used, or just a stray melee, no matter what direction. That would have been a good opportunity for the Goof Custom to not only move out of the way, leaving the Perfect Strike in a stunned state, but have enough time in order to go after the Hainu. Now this is a good idea to focus on the Goof Custom. Just boost step diving, trying to avoid any straight hits, and also let Hainu do the work. Because any hit could practically kill both of them. Oh, I also forgot to say hello, Rashkai. Probably left, but yeah. Alright, round 2. Oh, whoops. Alright, match 2. Kind of starts off with the funnels, try to force some movement. And what I notice here is that the Perfect Strike loves using CSA round start. But now I'm liking the positioning of Perfect Strike. He's staying mid-distance, he's not engaging too much. He's at a position where if High Nu messes up at anything, at any point in time, Perfect Strike can cover him with just one Agni shot. Nice use of Shining Edge to create an opening. And Zeta got dispatched right there. I felt like that Goof Custom probably should have just backed off. Pelt him with a machine gun shots just enough, so would either force a Perfect Strike to block or to kind of close the distance safely so he can melee. Because the Goof Custom is also the kind of suit that has to get in your face, but he doesn't have surefire ways in order to do that without sacrificing part of his game plan. And there's one more thing that I want to note, that there has been a running theme in this entire tournament. Pay attention to the boost. Just simply pay attention to the boost. Perfect Strike maintaining a good distance again. He knows that since he's in red health, he can't afford to die. And bought enough time for High Nu to make some moves right there. Alright, next we have Coconuts and... yeah, no, Coconuts definitely plays Sinanju. Coconuts and Coconuts and Hell Yeah. The last tournament I saw Coconuts, there were some questionable plays. But I think he actually improved over the last time I saw him. I think it was Texas Showdown or some other Texas tournament. No, it's Kumite in Tennessee. That's what it was. You still stick with the Blaze gear, which I'll be honest is not really the best for Sinanju because he wants to stay at a nice range. But going by his playstyle, he's a lot more in your face. So that's one thing I'm willing to compromise with. But the team that they're up against, Beta Dude and Shunao, is the best example of shield and sword. Because Shunao, she has good presence of awareness. She knows how to keep herself alive. And Banshee is a really good suit in order to do that with, because in NTD mode, she has a more offensive tools to work with, but in Unicorn mode, there's plenty of tools to play keep away with. Beam Magnum staggers a lot, just enough for Bazooka to play its role. She also has AC, which is the free control laser beam, which can knock down people from round start and discourage anyone from trying to move around from side to side. But the interesting bit is that Beta Dude, the times that I have played against him, he is very offensive. He loves to just rush your shit down. And the synergy behind this entire team can also go by the player as well. It's just that Shunao and Beta Dude have a really great synergy on top of the suits that they have, the suits that they play. Yeah, I guess the best way to put it is Lin is more towards like Judo or Aikido. Anything that involves using the opponent's momentum against them with great defense and keep away. Whereas Beta Dude is more offense and I would say a Muay Thai fighter. He goes in for the kill every single time. And what works with the team that Lin and Shunao and Beta have, Unicorn, Banshee, can play at such a range where if anything happens to God, it would never happen again. It would never happen. Because the opponent that's trying to approach will constantly get picked off. The opponent that tries to approach Banshee just gonna get knocked away or just get shot down. And she hits hard enough in order to do that too. Because that's less than 10 to 20 in-game seconds, and already one of them is down. It's almost a death wish in trying to chase down Shunao. And there's another thing. If you try to contest against God Gundam in a fight where he specializes in, which is pure melee, you're gonna lose almost 9 times out of 10 encounters. You will lose that fight. And Sinanju is not the best kind of suit to do that with. He does have BC, but that can easily get stepped and crushed pretty bad. I just gotta look at that again. I have to look at that again. It was just a matter of seconds. A matter of seconds. If you look at the radar, Beta Dude is already right there. The moment Coco turns his attention towards Shunao, he gets yoked up with the quickness. Like in less than 5 seconds after spawning. Less than 5 seconds. Gets caught. Yeah, exactly. She can maintain the playing field just enough for Beta to just go in and do whatever he please. It's that dangerous kind of synergy. And it goes back to another thing that's missing in everybody's gameplay. No one uses comms. I understand you can see health, but at the same time, situations are still important. Just pinging that you're in trouble, or pinging that something's going to happen to you, is much more important than hoping that your partner's going to find a way to save your life. It's going to be a very tough situation. Yeah, I understand they're in the same room, but even then, if you want to keep things more towards simple communication without uttering a single word, comms are still the way to go. It's the quickest thing you can do aside from saying something. That should be your first line of communication. Something within the game. Second line could be outside. Alright, round 2. And one more bit I want to add too. I'm pretty sure if Shuna played any other suit like GPO3 or what's another good Masala, if she played any of those other suits, I'm pretty sure she could do just as much in her performance than with Banshee. Beta just going in. Good idea for Coconuts to back off. But he should be laying down some shots. He's being a little bit too conservative with his shots. Because that's what Sinanja excels with. He plays the mid-range to long-range game somewhat decently. He should throw a bunch of asteroids, shoot some bazookas every now and then, use his long rifle and the CSA in situations where he can catch someone landing at a very awkward time at a distance. He should be using that to his advantage. But there goes what I said the last time. going after Shunao is almost a death sentence. Especially when Beta Dude is still running around doing whatever he can. Doing whatever he wants. Because at this point, you're better off focusing on burning Gundam. Since in this game, he doesn't have a whole lot of defensive tools in order to protect himself from 2v1 situations without using a striker. But even then, every Burning Gundam player would use a striker that keeps their momentum going in their offense, or changes the momentum in their favor so they can capitalize whenever a stray hit is made. And every time, I've been victim to this too. Every time I try to go after Shunao, I always get killed, or I always get put in a bad situation where her partner picks up immediately. Unless you have someone that has a good distance stun tool, you can never catch Banshee. Yep, it just keeps happening. Try to double lock Banshee, still not gonna work. Because you're leaving Burning unattended. And I think they realized that at the last moment too. But then again, if you try to double lock Burning, then you start getting hit by Banshee. Like you have to pick your poison no matter what happens. You have to pick your poison. Okay. It is ridiculously difficult. And she has that good kind of synergy with Testament too. The many times I fought against her and Testament, it was never an easy match. Never an easy match. Because, again, she plays in a way so much that she leaves Testament to have free reign to do whatever she can, to do whatever he can. And whenever you try to go after either of them in a 2v1 situation, you're gonna get cut pretty badly. And you're gonna bleed on top of that too. So it's a lose-lose situation no matter what happens. So it's just pretty much putting faith on whether your partner can hold their own and can effectively chase with a suit that is meant for pursuit. Alright, let's move on to the next match. And after this match, I'm gonna get some food and come back here. So, next team looks like Zeta and F91 versus Nightingale and Freedom. Yeah, gay rights to the death. No, they haven't. No, gay rights to the death is yeah, it's coconuts. Oh, they haven't updated the now this is 100 miles. Yeah, this is 100 miles. They haven't updated the titles yet. But let me say this right off the bat. Nightingale, although he is the de facto best suit in the game, nothing is more annoying than a Nightingale that has full awareness of how good he is. But whenever you're up against a Nightingale that has minimal idea of how to use that maneuverability and that deceptively small hitbox to his advantage, you just deal with any other Nightingale player at that point. Because there are three things that should never happen whenever you're playing Nightingale: getting meleeed, getting out-chased, and always getting pressured. Those are three things that should never happen as a Nightingale player. Because Nightingale has some real good tools in order to keep himself as safe as possible. And always keep the opponent on their toes. Because I can see it now. This Nightingale has not once done scattershot. Not once. Yeah, let's rewind that again. Not once was a scattershot fired. There were fences, but there were no funnel swarms, and there were no CSBs. The CSB is pretty good. Don't be afraid to use that. The CSA is also pretty good. If you want to play the range game, do that. But you gotta use as many tools that Nightingale has at his disposal in order to make him the best. And if you can't or don't use that, you're just any other Nightingale. Exactly, you have to outplay them. Really good Nightingale players. Pompadour, he is the best example of a really good Nightingale player. Because he knows the broken shit that he has. And how hard he is to hit too. Because you have to make the opponent think a lot on their feet just to get a small amount of damage through. Alright, round 2. Zeta putting in some work. But F91 is also doing a good job at creating some openings too. In fact, he's doing such a great job that he's still alive. Because F91 is pretty alright. F91 is still pretty hard to hit at times. But once he has MEPE, that is a done deal. Unless he gets hit by some wide hitting attack. There's no stopping F91 at that point. But let's move on to the next offense in this kind of situation. Look where the burst is at the moment. Then look at his health. Now it's in critical condition and has a little bit over half. Here's what happens next. That was not a good idea. If you're close to death, or even the slightest gust of wind could kill you, you're better off holding on to that burst and then saving it for escapes. Because you just died, giving away your chance of getting your momentum back. The desperation burst, I like to call it. You gotta resist that urge to try and get back into the fight, even at the cost of your ability to capitalize on momentum. And he just dies right away after that. So it was pretty much a waste, despite getting a little bit of burst back. And Zeta's also going a little bit too ham with the melee too. I would just keep chucking 2Bs, just put the freedom in check, but also use as much of my Hyper Mega Launcher to create more knockdown opportunities. And besides, rushing with, I think what he was rushing in was 8B or CC8B. That already has really small range, so it can't really hit him safely. I don't know if there's any shot guard on CC8B too for Zeta. There is not? Well, all the more reason not to use it then. There's no shot guard for CC8B, and you're better off just using 4 or 6B. 4 or 6B or 2B. Okay. So those game rights to that one up against late registration. Alright, so we have Test and Breaker. Oh, whoops, skip too far ahead. Alright, that's Test and Breaker versus, let's see, their G Selfie. So it's French Charshu. So So Red Muffler Man and Halsey, I think. Sagos. So I'm guessing Red Muffler Man is the Sinanju, and Sagos is the GPO3. Now, Tess is staying close to the ground so he can maintain a little bit more momentum to attack. But trying to approach with I Field against GPO3 is nearly a bad idea. It's a good idea on paper, but once you get blown up by a bazooka, that's it. Nice use of asteroids, play it defensively, and also if he did get hit by a stray asteroid, it would just knock them up high enough so he could follow up.
Sure, I'll take it.
Alright, CSA and CSB. There's nothing scarier than full cloth and burst, with both of his tools active. But here's what the Sinanju, it's like night and day at this point. Red Muffler Man plays a much more composed Sinanju. Actually using his range tools, actually using the bazookas in a way that it kind of contributes to his movement. He's making himself hard to hit and also hard to counterattack. But at the same time, he's also going a little bit in too much. Like what happened there. Now, I don't know why GPO3 tried to attack like that. But I guess he tried to get a bit of a sneak hit to try and take down Full Cloth. And he paid for it. And Tess did that on purpose. He just stood there. Because he knows that if he dies, he can always go back with full health compared to his partner. And this is what happens. He's healthy enough to go after GPO3 with little to no worries. Even if the threat of Perfect Strike going down would actually lead to his defeat, he was confident enough in order to just push. And since GPO3 was in a corner, there was no room for escape. On top of the fact that GPO3 was so high in the air that no matter what landing that he had, if he boost dived, he would get shot down. If he just floated down, he would have been shot down regardless. If you tried to use Demolition Chain, he would have got. Simple as that. There was no way out. Yeah, the meta is quite interesting in both games. EXVS2 is more range oriented in its meta, as opposed to GVS, where if you have strong melee and good mobility, you're pretty much set. And it's been like that for quite some time too. Why else is Sparrow, Nightingale, Epion? Well, Epion is not that bad, but he is much better than he is in the XVS2. Alright, round 2. And remember when I said there's a running motif, a running theme in this tournament? You see a lot of people expending their boosts pretty often just to try and chase down and get a knockdown. Like a bunch of mad people. It's all or nothing to them. Alright, Tess is trying to kill some time so he can get his Murasama and Peacock back. And he's always staying close to the ground too. He's constantly pinging keep fronting, I think. Ooh, I actually love that exchange right there. It turns into a standoff at first, but off of that first shot alone, Tess picks up on something that was kind of telegraphed by Red Muffler Man. Tries to go for 2 shots, then a bazooka, but I guess Muffle Man was second guessing, and he boost dash to get away, out of fear that he might have overextended. And then tries to come back around with a melee attack. Then steps away out of fear that Tess would retaliate. So there's a lot of second guessing going on. And then tries to find some sort of opening to try and catch Tess off guard. But in the end, gets shot for his troubles. And then just guns after JPO3 right there. And I guess this is what I like to call a selfless act, because again, he just stands here, lets himself get killed, and come back nice and healthy just in order to wreck everybody's shit. As Murasama Blaster and Peacock Smasher available. And no matter who gets hit, it's gonna end pretty badly. But it didn't work out in his favor. Sometimes you just have to fight it out to the end and force as much opportunities as possible instead of just staying there and let yourself get killed. It's much better than that you rather fight to the end and die as fast as you can before your partner dies first than to just let yourself get killed and come back healthy just enough for something to sway the decision. Because you always have to watch for any opportunities to attack and counterattack. Had he known that GPO3 was going to go for a super, he would have just blocked and then punished him. Or just stepped and punished him. Anything better than just standing around. So I felt like that was a ball that was dropped. That tossed away any hope of just forcing questionable decisions on the other team. But I guess Tess ain't too bothered about that either. Oh, whoops. Alright, and right back to Hard Defense Squad and Gay Rights 2. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get myself some food. Alright, I'm back. I think we do get the. I don't think we get the perspective of F91, but round start. AC. Zeta's doing a good job at keeping his distance, and also keeping in mind of whatever kind of approaches that either Banshee or Burning would do. But there we go. The moment he tried to rush in and melee Burning, that's where it went to shit. You're better off just throwing 2 Bs like it's nothing. Than to try and fight against Godgun like that. And when you least expect it, that's when Banshee just comes around and just kills you. Yep, can't hassle her like that. Nice on Zeta to capitalize on that. And nice finish just to get her away. Because once Banshee gets started, it's hard to stop her. But again, trying to melee God like that is a mistake in itself. You should have just done 2B at a safe distance, so no matter what happens, Beta wouldn't turn around and just step and just kill him right there. Alright, sticking with the team. Still gets hit by an AC. It's like the perfect round start tool. And now he's using more 2B. Good adjustment on his part. Nice 2B. But if F91 actually picked up on that, that would have been a good knockdown right there. And now Zeta's starting to pick up on these things. I don't know what he tried to do there, but he got caught for his troubles right there. Gets hit with NTD sabers. At this point, I would start half bursting. Right there. And I was saying that too. Half burst, please. You got it in your hands, use it. Now he has more burst to work with. Nice knockdown, but yeah, that was a good burst. That was a good burst on Shuna's part. Because he keeps himself at a safe distance. Yeah, exactly. You should be using as many of your resources as possible before bursting. And depending on what kind of striker you use, you shouldn't use it sparingly, but also kind of pick up on when exactly is the right time to do it. Even with like single use assists. Because as much as strikers aren't really, as much as the striker system isn't really the best thing, it is ideal to cover yourself as a safeguard. There's so many things you can cancel into. That makes it such a good tool. I'm pretty sure if I was looking at Beta Dude's perspective, he would at least have one more catastrophe assist to use, on top of all the other things that he had left in at his disposal. Now this next match is what I like to call absolute violation. It's like Pop and Sky's team is coming back from a loss. And then the decision to pick Master is probably channeled by that feeling that, damn, if we lose this, there's no turning back. We're out of the tournament. But then again, Sky is going to be playing like someone kicked his puppy. with steel-toe boots and just turns up the offense to 10. And this is how it starts. This is how it starts. Such great melee awareness. And Psycho Zaku is covering him every step of the way, presenting opportunities for him to go in. It's at this point you should be much more conservative with your melee against anyone that's not named Master. Because Master will come after you. He will make you feel so sorry about trying to mess with his partner. And you'll be hurting on top of that too. And that was a great use of a super right there, because his partner, the Zeta's partner, was right by him. So it hits both of them at the same time and knocks them up high in the air. And it gives enough time for Psycho Zaku, which is piloted by Pomp, enough time in order to set up whatever kind of Oki situation is available. But that it's not necessary because Master already got that covered. I played against Sky a few times, but I think I only played against his Master once or twice. And it ended the same way. My shit pushed in. And his movement is so clean as Master. He's using AB to kind of stay close to the ground, so he has a little bit more downward momentum, so he falls faster. Because the last thing you want to do against Master is stand still. And once you stand still, that's pretty much it. You get hit by mini Masters, you get hit by anything that Master can throw at you, you're pretty much done. God forbid that you had no boost in order to escape with. Now I don't know what this goof custom was doing. Why was he still attacking? He's not going to get up that fast, and even if you try to attack him as soon as he gets up, you are going to get violated on sight by just a single attack from Master. And Sky also did that to B, because he knew that Goof Custom was still meleeing. So if, for whatever reason, that Goof Custom still committed, he would have gotten hit and punished pretty badly. And great use of Darkness Finger in order to stay on the chase. And made Zeta go too close to the sun. And that was the quickest match of the tournament too. Alright, next match. 400 Miles versus Late Reg. And what is this Sinatra doing? I have no idea. Overheat. Gets stuck against the building. Gets sniped. He is not attacking with his ranged options at all. That was that was not good. Sinanja's playing way too conservatively. I guess I could chalk it up for inexperience, but it seems like this Sinanja has a lot to learn. Because it seems like he plays like a new player. And what's a super too? This is all kinds of sloppy. Oh man. No, this ain't high IQ play, because this is the same kind of play that happened in the match that he had. And that didn't work. If it was a psycho technique, that is definitely not a way to do it. I understand that he has to kind of use his range options conservatively, but the least you could do is just throw out a few shots, especially at a distance. Chuck a few asteroids too, because there are moments where he kind of stands still. Oh, that was gutsy. I'll give him that. But he should be using a lot more of Sinanja's tools to his advantage, especially in burst. But that was definitely a good kill. A good double kill, in fact. But how is he gonna capitalize on this kind of situation too? Because it's almost a risk to leave RX-78 to do most of the work. But RX-78 pulled through. I can tell from this little bit alone, he is an emotional player. He plays by feel. But somehow that doesn't really translate into his play as a whole. It seems like he still has a long way to go. And I hope he does get better. I think that's Cocoa Nuts again. I really do hope that he gets better. I hope that he trains a little bit more and sharpens up his Shinanju. Because right now, this is some yop. Some unorganized play going on. I think 100 Miles actually won this too. Let me see the team name again. The team again. Oh no, it's Chrono Rayer. Chrono Rayer is the Sinanju. I think. Coconuts, I think, was playing a completely different suit. He was playing Zeta. Yeah, so I'm just guessing, but this is Chrono Rayer. Wait, hold up. I think I actually saw something. The Nightingale actually did a scatter shot. Yeah, the Nightingale actually did a scatter shot the entire tournament. By Jove, he actually did it. But never landed it. But I can understand it's kind of hard to land the scatter shot unless you kind of force yourself to veneer a bit. Or go into such a position where you anticipate the opponent's movement so it can guarantee a hit. But the conic range of the scatter shot is much bigger than you think it will be. Oh, the bad burst. The bad burst. Oh, no. Don't do that to yourself. And it goes back to what Joe said. He has not expended his strikers once. In both lives, he still had enough in order to just keep himself in the fight. Nothing red. You gotta spend that cash. Spend those bucks before you re-up. What was that? Okay, I gotta stop being this kind of person. I gotta look at the positives, but all I'm seeing right now is just room for improvement. Definite room for improvement. Because it's kind of apparent that the RX-78 is carrying. Let me see the windscreen. Yeah, that's Miles. He's the RX-78. RX-78 is simple and fun to play, pretty much. Like, if you want a suit that can do a bit of a good job at maintaining a good amount of momentum, as well as be a good team player with some decent offensive tools, RX-78 is the way to go. Granted, there are much better suits, and I think RX-78 being a 400 kind of ruins it for him. If it was a 300, I would definitely understand. Because in full boost, he was a 2K, and he had some really good tools, and he could pretty much afford to die. Wait, what shield? The shield toss? The shield advance? Oh, that, the 2B. No, I think he still has it. I think he still has the shield toss. Oh, now I see what you're saying. If they make him a 300, then just take away that, because he would abuse that religiously. I see what you mean now. Just like how and Zeta being a 500 is also a questionable thing too. Zeta would have been much better as a 400, to be quite honest. Giving back his semi-auto beam rifle, buff up his beam confused so it's a little bit more useful. Because right now his main source of damage is either melee or trying to combo into Hyper Mega Launcher. Wave Rider Crash is alright, but it gets better when you burst, but it's still kind of a bit of a stretch. Yep, that's pretty much how it went. We were cheerful little beta testers. We were all cheerful little beta testers for Master Yasuda. Master was so good, they gave the other folks some really good stuff too. I'm just happy the way we got our just desserts and all that jazz. It's a whole crock of shit, man. Okay, now this is fun. This is actually funny. Testament already knows Shu now by the way she plays, and right off the bat, he guns straight for her. Tess already knows the ropes, so already turned into a player matchup. Alright, now it seems like he's trying to buy some time for his CSA and TSB to come back online. But he's good. Him and Breaker are doing good jobs at keeping God at bay. And now I see what the test is communicating too. He has the CSA and CSB ready, so he calms that he's fronting. Nice use of assist. And nice movement on his part too. Oh, but that was an overextension by Shunao. But this is actually a tough position. Test could still go wild, but any hit will lead to death, especially by God Gundam. Like what happened there. Alright, round 2. Right off the bat, AC gets an anti-beam cloak ripped off. Yeah, now he's focusing on God Gundam. Try to score as many knockdowns as he can, so he can buy time for Breaker to go after the Banshee. Now, God Gundam has no point but to just go in and die, while also protecting himself. That was a smart use of burst, but at the same time, that was also a dumb idea too. Because he was already at low health. He could have just held on to that and just made it work in the end. Oh, that was dangerous. Also landed overheat too. And gets smoked for it. Now this is what I like to call a much more preferable situation. Get better off having low health but full burst to work with, rather than have high health and little to work with. And the way that he's approaching, the way that Tess is approaching, he's looking at the radar. He's moving at the very same direction where Shunao is, but he's keeping his sights on Beta Dude. So that way, whenever something happens from either side, he could burst, go after either of the two, but mostly go after the one that's the weakest or the one that will pose much more of a threat. Obviously, the much more threatening element in this situation is God Gundam. And then, using that side whip, he bought himself enough time to rush after Shunao. But nothing is better than flying to the sky, because that also buys time for Beta Dude to get back up, and then chase after Full Cloth as soon as his burst is up. Because once that paralysis shows, chicken dinner. But thank goodness that Breaker actually picked up on that and caught Shunao in a very strange position where if she tried to move at any direction, she would either get hit by a side whip or anything from Perfect Strike. CSA is for CSA for Full Cloth is his Peacock Smasher beam. It's slow to come out and it has weak muzzle correction, so it's ill-advised to use, especially at close range. It's good if you're at a distance, but do you really want to gamble with that? When he has a much better version that is at the cost of his burst, which is a super. Yeah, he has unlimited main because he can just reload it every single time. Be it 5 shots or 18. That's probably the best thing about Full Cloth. Because in Peacock Smasher, you could just constantly rapid fire your AB because you could just reload at any point in time. I think you can cancel into BC as well. Though I think the useless moves that he has in his repertoire, talking about Full Cloth, is his barrel roll shot. Because it doesn't have the same kind of tracking than it was in Full Boost. It does not track aggressively. It's good at a distance, but you're just throwing yourself into harm's way just to pump out a bunch of shots that's probably not gonna hit anything. CSA and TSB are ready. Pops both of them. See, that's what I mean. Look what happened right there. There's legit no reason to use barrel roll shot. Regardless of any version, you're still throwing yourself into harm's way. If it was like a slow approach, but fast firing, it would be good. But because he's moving fast and shooting fast, he barely has any kind of control. And you have no choice but to expend more burst in order to get out of it. But Beta Dude made a nice read on the whip, used his 2B to counter, which stunned Full Cloth, and then stepped in order to try and get more damage in. But I think Shuna was unaware that Beta Dude was in a good position, and she fired AC to try and cut the situation. Now let me see. Yeah, he stepped. Ooh, a swing and a miss. I know at some point he's gonna have burst. He has to. Oh, never mind. CSB. I think he's going for the kill after God gunned him. Oh, but the ABC saved him right there. I think he's holding onto a CSA. There we go. Now there's a good chance of using barrel roll shot. When you know that the target is standing still, I guess the best approach is definitely the forward approach rather than the side approach. Kind of risky too, but in this situation it was worth it. And see, there was a CSA. There's the Peacock Smasher CSA. It's narrow. Very narrow. And it comes out really slow. Alright, I think this is Grand Finals. No, I think it's Winners Finals. Oh, it's losers. Yeah, it's losers finals. Alright. Match 4. Now this time, Folk Arthur is really keeping a distance game. Though if he used scatter shot a little bit more, he probably would have controlled a bit more space frequently. Because there's nothing much God Gundam can do after that. Like, God Gundam's approach is strong, but at the same time, his ability in order to keep himself safe is very weak. So you can kind of bully him at times. And notice how he is turning his attention towards God Gundam more than Banshee. There's a method behind the madness. But it works. Because the biggest threat is always going to be God Gundam. You just have to catch the Banshee overextending, otherwise you're just going to get shot down repeatedly. Nice whip right there. And finished Banshee off as well. And now Banshee's gonna come in overcosted. But he still keeps his eye on God Gundam. Just buys enough time for Breaker in order to set up his offense. And try to pick some really good shots against Banshee or God Gundam. Throws out a few shots to try and chase after Shina. But Breaker really sealed the deal. Yeah, he has much better. Like, a lot of his offense is mostly poking. Lots and lots of poking. So once he gets a hit, he can just close in right then and there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think now we're moving on to... that was winners finals, so next is losers finals. Hello, AJ. What do you need? Alright. Pound town. That's like what's gonna happen at this point. Now the decision to go to full armor Gundam FA78, I would say it was a really good decision. Though switching from Master also kind of a questionable decision as well. So you just expect Master just to style on someone and then go straight back to full armor. Kind of odd. It's kind of an odd decision, but hey, whatever works. I mean, as long as you have hot scramble being enabled almost every second, that's what matters. And I'm pretty sure full armor can provide that kind of situation. I think this is where the point where Pump just goes crazy. Just starts throwing out supers because he can. I think that might be the next match though. Hey, what's good, Shogun? How's it going, man? How's your Sunday? And now Hot Scramble's backing off, playing a more reserved role, while FA78 is doing his thing. But the FA81 was trying to do some Gunsame stuff. And paid for it. Now let me look back. Approach with sword vent matches the hit, but I do not know or understand why he did super right there. So the last shot actually does retrack. Huh. But he gets put out of his misery. Alright, next match. Starts throwing out some fences. Like a Denzel Washington film. Now that was kind of risky. Threw a fence point blank. Probably could have just gone for something completely different. Just simple melee would have done that too. But one thing I do notice is that Pomp rarely uses CSA. Just to get some Oki in. because the beam sweep is pretty good. That much I know. Oh, nice maneuvering by Zeta. Actually managed to out melee Hot Scramble, which is kind of hard to do. Ooh, nice capitalization off of the micro missiles. Ooh, but even better plays by Palm right there. This guy is really just putting in work. And he just threw, and Palm just really threw out that super. Another Gunsime special. Just throwing sword vents every now and then. It gets it's hard to try to negate that defense. Probably could have finished that a little bit stronger, but either way, that still worked out in his favor. Oh yeah, I did mention something about that too. At some point, Zeta was looking for a burst. Oh wait, that's it. That was quick too. Alright, let's skip ahead. Yeah, this is French Charshu. No, 100 miles. Now let's see if there was some small improvements. Because the last few matches that Chrono Rare was playing were kinda weak. Well, so far there's been some development. But he's still getting his shit pushed in. But what baffles me is how he approaches. How he approaches just bothers me so much when he's playing Sinanju. Like, what I see is that his defense is non-existent, his offense is somewhat lacking, and he relies on the bursts a little bit too much in order to push an offense. Almost as if he's playing very passively rather than conservative. Alright, round 2. Now he's using his strikers a little bit more. Now he's using his strikers a little bit more, but he's still going a little bit too close. You have to create space as Sinanju. Space safe enough so you can approach and reapproach at any given time. And there we go again. Low health, still bursts. And loses it right there. Gotta have that presence of mind. That awareness as to when and where you should burst. How you should burst. Because it should no longer be a question of why am I doing it. It will later become a question of how should I do it and what can I do in order to make it better. Because if you're just bursting at a point where you have little to no health, not only you're throwing your chance of reinitiating momentum for your teammate, but you're putting yourself in harm's way. You risk losing a lot of resources and a lot of ways to get back your resources. And on top of that, you make yourself a bigger target to shoot down because the enemy team will pick up on that too. They will pick up on that. And that's exactly what happened. The enemy team was staying at a distance where they could safely pressure both players into folding so hard that it just seems like 100 Miles just folded because of themselves. I know there's probably better ways of putting it, but that's what it seems like. They made themselves their own worst enemy. Wait, hold on. There's another thing I noticed too. They allow anyone in the losers bracket to choose any suit even after completing a match, even after completing a set. Huh. Those are interesting rules. So it's a near mirror match. There are two hot scrambles, but there's also a Banshee and a GPO3. It's like seeing two wild gorillas fight each other. Throw out a fence. Well, throw out a cage. Oh, he could have just pressed them that bad. Would have killed the GPO3 outright. Oh, that was interesting. Nice cut. And quick and simple. No theatrics. And he's just focusing primarily on GPO3, but manages to score a knockdown just enough so he can score another knockdown and buy some time. Alright, now I think, yeah, he switched back to Sinanju, Red Muffler Man. Oh, nice landing chase. Oh wait, hold up. Excuse me. I had to sneeze. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be taking a bit of a small break. Kind of feel a little bit winded too. Sorry about that. I got sidetracked multiple times, so yeah. But I'm almost done with the video too, so we're not too far off. And since I took a bit of a break, impromptuly and unintentionally, I feel I have a little bit more energy to go at this too. Alright, sent out the cage, but I get sent right back to him after getting hit by something. Charging like a madman, but gets landing punished by Muffled Man. Oh, what happened there? Oh, you got hit by GPO3's striker, which was also a build strike. Hit him with a super, make it so that he's hard to hit, but gets cut out at the right time. And there's the first CSA of the entire tournament. I could have sworn that he has a beam sweep. Hot scramble. I know he has a sweep attack with that beam, with the CSA. I could be wrong because I still don't know how to play it. I have never played Hot Scramble. Alright, now next up I think is losers. Losers semis or loser? No, this is losers finals. So this Beta and Shuna versus Pop and Sky. And I have a good feeling that Hot Scramble has a much better chance of just shutting down Gagganum repeatedly. And more than not, Pomp has been landing those mobile armor Gyros with the utmost consistency. Something I gotta figure out on myself too. How to properly land those kind of mobile armor Gyros, especially with Wing Zero. Because I know Zalzi does that pretty well, and a few other players do. And again, the more experienced players, they see God Gundam as a threat. They try to pick their spots against Banshee, but more than not, they always double lock God Gundam to represent some opportunities. There we go. Wait, let me see what kind of attack. Is that BC or what is it? Wait, what happened there? I think I shot an AB, but that got eaten up by God's CSA. Yeah, it did happen. Oh, good, and you? That's a nice super, send a high in the sky. What's going on? What happened? Yeah, pretty much. They have to. If only God had Fune Psyche, though. Gee, I wonder. Well, spot on. Hang on. I think the way I can put this matchup is by this kind of observation. The more you make God run and focus on running away, the better your chances of winning are. Because as long as you keep God running for a good amount of time, that's their primary focus. They just have to avoid getting hit by anything so they can keep their momentum. Oh, here comes here comes some Pound Town. Now Pomp is maintaining that distance, try to stay within the edge of the red lock range. Dual locked. Got him into submission. Nice use of Saber Toss from Banshee. going on the offensive, but gets taken down for troubles. And again, that ass. CC8B, CC8B. Throwing his funnels. And nice punish right there. But that could have gone south any which way, because had Shuna thrown any of those beam sabers, it would have hit Pomp, because he was moving so much to the side. Round star fences again, manages to catch God and knock him down. And he's just throwing out fences just cuz. Because if he runs into it, there's a good chance that's a guaranteed knockdown. And the way that the fences come out from Hot Scramble, they come out relatively quick, and it's a short distance between him and whatever space is available. Much better than Kshatriya's. Beta gets dusted. And Pomp goes crazy again. Throws out the funnels. And gets taken down by the build strike assist. But it's still kind of a bad position because of where his health is and the cost. At any point in time, if something went wrong, he would have lost. There we go. And that's a match loss right there. Alright, match 3. Overlays the can on the Fritz. And now at this point I think Pop is just hawking on Beta Dude. Uh-oh. Right, those mishaps happen. He just constantly hawks him. At any given opportunity. Sky and Palm focus their attacks a lot on God Gundam. Even Sky being so gutsy as to just melee God Gundam. There's a bit of that internal momentum going on between the two. Still in a bad situation with the overclock situation being guaranteed now, but it seems like they finally got a good grasp on the situation. Oscar's gonna play it safe, just go to a backing roll, hold on to his burst until the next time he spawns, or in a moment of crisis. And then once Shuna spawns, that's where he goes in ham. And that was a bad burst right there. Picking up on that, Palm chases after Shuna and does a super, or CC8B. CC8B or super, either way that would have been still a good play. Oh man, it took everything out of him. Alright, let's move on to Grand Finals. I think the results were 6-0. Yeah, it was 6-0. But the matches themselves were no joke. So this is pretty much a run back from the very beginning. The very beginning of the tournament. Yeah, the pops-offs are not only funny, but you can see that everybody's animated during the game. Everybody's animated. Like that one dude, Chrono Rayer, who probably still needs to improve on his play a lot more. Just popping off like he won Evo. Sometimes you gotta feel yourself, but don't feel yourself too much. Nothing but fences going on so far. Now, I think the game plan here was for at least one of them to break APC on full cloth, but also deal with Perfect Strike always throwing in shots every now and then. Because you have one full aggressor and one potential aggressor. One that can actually close the distance, and the other that would much rather play defensive offense rather than offensive defense. gutsy dive at close range. And Palm has been landing those shots like nothing. Easy like Sunday morning. And he notices that Tess is close to death, Breaker is close to death, and just sweeps him with a M.A. Garo. A nice runaway from Pompidou. But I guess because he did CCAB, it took a little bit too much time for the hit to register. And that's what got him killed. Ooh, nice finish right there. Alright, round 2 of Grand Finals. Loser side is Pound Train to Howdy Town, and winner side is G Selfie. Sets out the funnels, try to catch Breaker slipping, which he does with the assist. There's an importance into using funnels in your gameplay with a funnel-based suit. Funnels are good for 2 to 3 things: forcing movement, monitoring the player's movement, and dictating how they should react in certain situations. Once you start forcing movement from the opponent, you practically have good control over where they're going to land next, how much boost they're going to be using, and what kind of tricks are they going to be resorting to in order to avoid all those situations. And the hot scramble can do that with little to no effort. Nice use of burst in order to recoup some of the boost, because if he landed, that would have been his ass. Gunning after Breaker. I think he got hit by an X1 assist. Oh. And I like what Palm is doing too. Whenever he's in a critical state, he always resorts going to backing roll until he's knocked down. Until he's destroyed. And he's just letting Sky do whatever he can. Like what happened there. You can't really sleep on full armor. You can't really sleep on FA78. You just can't. Because he does have good mid-range tools and tools to control spacing. Like, anything from his BC series, including his BC, the spread missiles, BCB, those are really good tools that FA78 has. Now make you play a completely different way once you get hit by them. Nice hit on the 2B, CC8B, but Beam Cloak blocked the, I think it's AC. Hot Scramble's AC. Catches breaker. Nice turnaround shot. A little bit risky with the Vernier, but he still managed to score a hit. Didn't commit to the melee. I know Tessa is doing whatever he can in order to try and open up Hot Scramble. But the way that Sky has been playing so far has been doing a great job at not only keeping Breaker in check, but also keeping Tess on his toes. Because he has not lost health once. Super. And I think it was unscaled too, because it was a raw hit. Send out some fences. Starring Denzel Washington. Rips apart that Beam Cloak with ease. I mean, that's what FA78 can do pretty well. He has a lot of multi-hitting moves that tear apart Beam Cloaks like a wet paper bag. And resorts back to the back and roll. Now I know he's gonna front at this point. Sends out funnels. Focuses on breaker. Catches up to him. But misses a super, which was very dangerous. Cheeks are being clapped. The cheeks are being clapped. Alright, let's reset finals. Starts off with the fences again. Try to seal off any kind of movement that Full Cloth has. Try to limit the approach, but also keep both Testament and Breaker in check. Rear beam sweep again. I feel like beam sweep is more of an Oki tool than a neutral tool, but it still has its uses in neutral nonetheless. Nice kiting. And now I can definitely see the tempo of the match just working in both Sky and Palm's favor. They already got the momentum going, regardless if one of them gets knocked down. sweep. Nah. Sense of the funnels after breaker. No hit confirmed. Just wasting that boost trying to get away. But he does get rewarded for it. Sky taken down, but gets out the fences again. I'm not afraid to just go crazy. And just goes ham. Full cloth was way too close to him. I think he tried to do a side whip, but somewhere along the line, he did get hit by Hot Scramble's melee.
Bill, I'm going to...
Alright. Round 2 of the Grand Finals, Part 2. The Reckoning. More fences. Another beam sweep that it's not really hitting as much, but at this point, it wouldn't be surprising. I think I understand why he's not doing Aoki, because it's too predictable. You're practically saying, hello, I'm doing this attack. Please block this or hit me. Nice soft touch. CCAB into AC. Sweeps the mobile And I don't think Volkov has been catching a good break every single time, because he gets hit in the fences, he gets swiped by something from Hot Scramble, like that. Bring out the fences. Oh, that was a nice CSA right there. I think he anticipated him just moving back that way. That's why he kind of curved it to the left. And this momentum is still going. That tempo is still going in their favor. Oh, there's the death knell. Hit with a super. It's impressive how far it can go too. Also kind of maddening because you can get hit by it like from a good distance, half a map, and you'll still get hit. Alright, last match. Still sticking with the same team. Let's see what they do differently. Breaker starts off with the CSA. Manages to graze him a little bit. Oh, what happened there? Was that CSB from Full Cloth? Possibly. Tested his patience with a guard. And I think it's been a running thing too, that Tess has not been able to land a single solid hit on Hot Scramble. Not a single solid hit that will lead to good damage. It's either been stray hits or in scramble situations, but never a single neutral solid hit. That's how badly they've been getting shut down. Oh, the madman. Hold up, what? What a new type. What a new type. I would never catch that. Such a quick adjustment to the point where you could actually react to full cloth closing in. And shot him point blank. Like gets chased down. Set up some fences. The gun's after Breaker because he knows he's at low health. Manages to smoke him. And then sets up Loki. Yep, Full Cloth is trying to initiate more offense just from the wild swings from the whips, and that's game. That is grand finals right there. Going with the intense handshakes. Who shouldn't be allowed to play?
Oh, friendship forever!
Friendship forever, guys.
Ah,
Yeah, that was really good.
that was super good. That was some clean Gundam.
Really cool.
Now, Gage.
Oh yeah, the new type reactions. Oh man, he is elite. I think it's apparent that even with or without Lumen Abyss, Palm can hold his own. Because he has such great awareness. And today, and that tournament just proved that. It just proved that. Well, that was a really good tournament nonetheless. A bit on the wild side, but yeah, that was definitely some top play. But yeah, I'm gonna shut off the stream at the moment. I might come back later on tonight. No guarantees though, but thanks to everybody for watching, and I don't know, I'll probably be back later, depending. Peace out.